Warriors, happy Friday. How are you? How are you doing today? Do you have any weekend plans? Do you have anything fun planned? This is New Year's weekend. So, do you have anything fun planned? Share with me in the chat if you plan on doing anything fun this New Year's, if you plan on doing anything new, exciting. Share with me in the chat. I am looking for something new and exciting to do. I want to try something new, do something I've never done for New Year's before. So we've been searching around. So share with me your plans if you found something exciting to do this New Year's. So happy Wellness Week. As you know, this is Wellness Week. I've been hopping on every day at noon to discuss with you a new solution to help you manage your 2023. We went through vision boards, tracking 365. Gratitude jar is today. We did agenda. So throughout each day, we picked a new technique that we can use to kind of order our lives so that 2023 will be better for us, so that we could show up in a way that we want, so that we could be the person that we want to be. And so, like I mentioned, today is gratitude jar. So yes, we also had the 24 by 24 list that was on Monday. 365 tracking that was on Tuesday. Agenda was on Wednesday. Yesterday was the vision board, and today is the gratitude jar. So these are techniques that I focus on at the end of each year, the week before. As you know, this is my busy season. I teach stress management. I work with companies to help them reform the environment so that employees can practice stress management, and I help professionals manage their stress. So this is my busy season between, I would say, August and September, all the way to like April, May, sometimes a little bit before April. But this is my busy season, so I've been jam packed, and I felt inauthentic, like I hadn't been living what I practice. I hadn't been walking my talk because I've been just, trying to serve. And I haven't had as much time to practice stress management. And so I scaled back this week. I still have some appointments, but I scaled back this week and decided that I was going to focus on my wellness and order my life for 2023. And I decided to share it with you all and create some sort of event, a wellness week, where I talk to you about the tools, tips, tricks, and techniques I use to order my life to bring in the new year to kind of ground myself. So today we're going to talk about, by far, one of my favorite tips or tools that I use to manage my stress and just to kind of improve my overall well-being, which is gratitude, in particular, gratitude jar, right? So I love gratitude. I try to wake up in the morning. The very first couple of things I do, in addition to thanking, source that I woke up, is I practice gratitude. So I name three things that I'm grateful for. I also journal. So whenever I finish my journal, under my journal entry, I always write three things that I'm grateful for. And throughout the day, I try, if I'm not feeling in a very pleasant mood, if I'm feeling anything other than, the positive emotions, I work through whatever I'm feeling. And then go into gratitude. So I feel what I'm supposed to feel. I work through it. And then I start counting my blessings. And so gratitude is a big tip. When something really big happens that I don't want to forget, or something that tickles me, or something that makes me happy, then I come home, write it on a slip of paper, and I put it into a gratitude jar. Now, what is a gratitude jar? Now, it's just, I guess you can make this any type of way. It could be a cup. It could just be anything that holds memos, right? But I chose a gratitude jar, and I started with a mini jelly jar where I decorated this mason jar. And I put some sticky notes on the inside and got a little fancy pen, and I wrapped some ribbon around it, and I made it my gratitude jar. And this is my very first one I'm willing to share. So this was about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. My very first gratitude jar. I dipped it into some gold glitter. I put some sticky notes in it and a pen and wrapped some ribbon around it. And every time I was feeling grateful for something in my life, every time I thought about, what was happening, how was I experiencing life, and I felt the overwhelming feeling of gratitude and emotion, and felt centered and connected to life and everything around me. Like the moments I felt a part of life, I would make a mental note to come home and write it into my write it down and then put it in my gratitude jar. Now, of course, when you first start a practice, it is not easy. It takes a little while for you to develop it, for you to figure it out, for you to maneuver and figure out how to incorporate it in your life, how to sustain it. So even if you're excited about it, you make your gratitude jar and you start and then you forget about it. You have to think about sustainability, right? And so a new habit is not easy, and it takes a long time to instill into form. And so when I first started with the gratitude jar, it took me a long time just to fill up this little jar. It was not easy, although I had many moments of gratitude. I was already in the gratitude habit because I woke up and gave gratitude. I journaled with gratitude, and I also practiced gratitude throughout the day. I was not in the practice of coming home, writing it on a slip of paper, and putting it inside the jar. So it took a little while. It took maybe a year or two before I was able to get into the practice of, putting things in there. I would forget to put good moments, good feelings, good things into the jar. And I will remember, like, oh, let me do that. And then I would get distracted and not do it. And then sometimes I would go right to the gratitude jar and I will write down all that I can remember. But I know for a fact within the first year or two, I did not collect all of my good memories. I struggled with it. It was hard to kind of incorporate it because I already had three other practices. So it was very hard to incorporate, but I stuck with it. And by year three, halfway through the year, this was overflowing. I literally had to put it in a different spot. And I was just adding. Um, Little sticky notes on the side of it because nothing else would fit in. I had already taken out the pen and the sticky notes, and it was just overflowing. And I was just so happy to see that I stuck with it. And the practice itself was, beneficial to me and reminding me what life is about and reminding me of all of the blessings that I have and how I should be grateful for what I do have, the small things. It doesn't have to be material gain or possessions or status or anything, but the things that ultimately make me happy. And so I thought, well, now it's time to upgrade. It's no way that you can maintain this because within 4 or 5 months, it was completely, almost to the top four. And then within 8 months, it was overflowing. And by the end of the year, you had all these little sticky notes around. And I was like, I think it's time for something bigger. And so this time I invited some friends and family around and asked them if they wanted to create a gratitude jar with me. And I got the biggest jar that I can find. And then this is it. So I kind of did the same thing. I dipped it in glitter because I love the idea of like mastering yourself, being like a gold or glitter, something strength. So I always use either gold or silver glitter. I don't know. It just makes me feel like enlightenment. I don't know. And I tied a ribbon around it. And as you can see, each year I do something different. These are my ribbons for 2022. I try to do new ribbons each year. This is my little headband. As you can see, oh, this is a dream catcher that my niecey Pooh gave to me. And as you can see, it is overflowing. I have so much on the inside. There's so many little sticky notes on the inside. I don't know if you can see through, but there's so much on the inside and it is overflowing. And I absolutely love at the end of the year. I like to, on New Year's Eve, sit in a quiet place, get a little glass of something that you like. It could be fruit juice, it could be wine or something, and just go through all of your good memories for the year. Just think about all the things that brought you joy and happiness throughout the year. You can You can take one out at a time and reminisce. You can call and catch up with your, the people that's involved and reminisce over it, and you can laugh. So it's a good way to connect. It's a good way to remember. It's a good way to ground you. You could just reflect on the things that put you happiness, and it just brings more and more happiness as you go through this jar and you remember all your highlights. I don't know about you, but prior to having a gratitude jar at the end of the year, I would only remember the bad things. I couldn't remember all of the beautiful things that happened to me, and it would seem like my life or my year was more negative than it actually was, because of course we remember the things that hurt us, that hit us hard, that make life difficult for us. So we remember them without ease, but we don't remember the little moments that make life worth living, to make you feel grateful and playful and loving and creative and all the good and gushy stuff in life. And so I thought this was a perfect idea when I stumbled across it. I thought it was a perfect idea to capture all of my small wins, all of the things that made me happy. And it's a good idea to open it at the end of the year and see, how much you have progressed throughout the year and how many things you did that really brought you happiness. And then if you want to go ahead and be a little scientist, you could take out a piece of paper and just write down all of the things that you remember about your year, right? Just write everything down that you remember about your year. Just get it all out. Sit down for as long as you can, write everything you can remember. Then the next step is to write everything bad that you remember, right? So when you first start to write everything that you remember, you'll just remember the surface thing. When you start to write everything bad, more memories will come up and you go, oh yeah, I forgot to put that on my list initially, especially when you start thinking about the bad, right? And then, so now you have two lists. You have a list of all of the things you could remember, and then you did a second deep dive, which is the things that didn't make you feel good, that were not productive, that were negative, the bad events of the year. And then you pull out your good old trusty gratitude jar. And then you start to go through your memories, your good memories of the year. It is so satisfying, just to kind of go through and remember all of the things that put you joy and to sit in it and to feel in it and bring in your new year that way. It makes you so excited about all the goals and dreams that you have for the new years, all of the things that you invested in, your list, your goals, all of the beautiful and wonderful things that are yet to come. Because as you're going through your jaw, you remember, like, I didn't even plan for that. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I remember that, and I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, I didn't intentionally bring it on. I did set my intentions for the day, but how beautiful that it manifested in this way. And so I just think it's such a great idea. I'll take a couple of minutes and I'll go through some of the things that's in my gratitude jar, and then I'll answer a couple of questions, and then I'll let you enjoy your holiday weekend. So this was Hollering Haunts Hayride. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and so this year for my birthday, I wanted to do something different. I'm not really a fan of scary movies or anything like adventure or like thriller. That's not my lane. I'm actually scary, so like I jump easily. As an empath, I'm very open, so I don't really like violence or anything in that nature. But this year I wanted to shake it up and do something new, something different. And so I remember back in undergrad, I went with my college roommates to the Woods of Terror in Greensboro. I didn't necessarily want to do that because I've done it before. I wanted to do something new, and I thought I want to do a haunted hayride. So we found this place called Hollering Haunts Hayride, and I think it was in Clinton, somewhere about an hour away, and it was so much fun. We did the haunted hayride. We did zombie paintballing, so we got to shoot at zombies with paint gun, and then we went into the darkness, and it was like this house where it was completely dark, and it's like from the moment you step in, you have to find your way through this maze out, and it's literally completely dark, and you have things jumping out at you. You have sounds, and it was just so creepy, but it was so much fun. And it was a great time. And of course, this is one of the big memories that I would remember at the end of the year. But it's nice to still have a little keepsake and then you kind of remember it. So you could throw keepsakes into your gratitude jar. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a memo or a sticky note. It could be whatever that you want it to be. So I'll take another one out. Oh, my niecey Pooh gave me this for my birthday, and I just thought it was so cute. It was so cute. And so I folded it up and I put it inside here because I thought it was so, look at him. So cute. So when she gave it to me, it made me smile. So I thought I'll go ahead and put it in the gratitude jar. How cute is that? Oh, so a part of my fun shops is I like to practice what I preach, and so I do a like. Oh, I'm dropping a little memo notes. I like to do arts and crafts because that's a part of stress management. That's one of the tips that I tell you to manage your stress. Practice arts and craft, or go and do some arts and craft. And so I did some for my fun shops because I like to practice what I preach. It's very fun to put your own events together, or most of my training and services are bespoke, so I design these workshops based on the needs of the customers or the professional. And so I did a creative vase, and I did it with money, and it was so much fun to make roses out of money. So this is just fake money, and it was a good fun. Look, I'm making it rain on myself. It was such a good time that I put it inside my gratitude jar. Now, normally this is what they look like because I have like little memo notes, and what I do is write it down and then I fold them and put them in little notes like this. So this is one for the year, and it says study and read. I must have had a very good study reading session because I put it in the gratitude jar. And I did have a couple of those this year. So that was really cool. And then these are the actual memos. This is what my memos look like. And so I fold them up and put them in there. That's a memory that I'm not really able to share with other people because it's not necessarily my business. Oh, I went to a baby shower recently. A family member of mine is all grown up and having their first son. So I went to a baby shower. As you can see, I won so many times. So I won so many gifts. I was the winner of that baby shower. I think I won like 2 or 3 out of the 5 gifts. And so it was such a good time. I hadn't been to an event like that since before COVID. So I had a good time, and I put this inside to remind me. And let me think. I have a whole bunch more in there. I still have my pen and sticky notes in there as well. And so I keep these things in here so that I can always add. I have one more day before I fully go through all of these, but I just kind of wanted to share with you some of the memories and things that I put inside, so you will know how you can use your gratitude jar. Again, it is so helpful. It's a great technique. I think that you will have a great time sitting down designing it. You can use stickers, you can use paint, you can use anything. You can even use it the way it is. You could just throw some ribbons around it. You don't have to decorate it, but it's a great tool, and I think that you will have a great time, even though it may take a little bit of time for you to really get in the groove of things. I think you'll have a great time using it. So please share with me if you already use a gratitude jar, if you plan to use one. How does it impact you? Do it sound fun? Do it sound like something you would like to do? Please share with me your thoughts. I would love to hear them. As always, I just want to serve and help people manage their stress. This is a shared experience. So, how stressed out you are impacts me, and vice versa. So, I just want to do my part. I also have free stress management tips, tools, tricks, and techniques. I give them out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon. So join me on live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Mondays, I give a new tip, tool, trick, and technique. On Wednesdays is a wellness work break. So we do some sort of wellness, is normally deep breathing. On Friday is Fun Funny Friday. So we do a little laughter yoga to decrease stress. So join me for at noon for those days. for some free information. You can always find all the information that you need on YouTube. So look for my YouTube. I give out all 50 tips, tools, tricks, and techniques to manage your stress and have many videos that you can use there. The Laughter Yoga Soul Laugh Tribe right now, we are on pause since it is wintertime. We will resume probably in April or May. And as always, I teach stress management. So I host, if you're looking for a group experience, I host stress management fun shops every third Saturday of the month. So look at my information for more details on that. It is like a party. You come together the first 25 minutes. We do a little bit of stress education. And then the last hour and a half is like a party. So we learn to implement those tools, tips, tricks, and techniques into an already busy life and sustain them. And we have a good time doing so. So please check out my information for that. And as always, you have to figure out what you need to do to manage your stress. If you need any help, you're looking for someone who can help you point out the stresses in your life and help you create a plan to manage the stresses of your life. I do stress management personal lifestyle consulting, so check out my website for that. In addition to that, I will put you in a community of practice with other people who are also managing their stress just like you. So as always, I hope I am helping you. I hope I am serving the world. I hope that you have some great plans for this weekend. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to bring in a new year right. I hope you have set your goals and dreams. I don't necessarily believe in New Year's resolutions, but I do believe that you should have goals and a plan for your life. So have a great holiday. I will be back on Sunday for a book review. You can find it on my YouTube, and I'm going to have a good time this weekend. And then I'll resume serving the world fully on Monday. So happy Friday, Work Life Warriors. Thanks for stopping past and listening. And please share with me if any of this works for you and how you use it in your everyday life, or if you plan to use it. Thank you so much, Work Life Warriors.